Hello everyone. This is the take-home box for Santa's Workshop from Ludington Area Center for the Arts. Okay, now when you unpack your box, you're going to have all the items that you see here on the table. So let's start with what we've got here. We have a small canvas, and on this canvas we've already done a background wash in blue and white. And the reason we've done this is because this is a recycled canvas, which is what a lot of artists do. So if you don't want to paint a snowman, you're going to just paint over the sketch that I did on this canvas for you. And if you don't like this background color, you can change it. You have a whole tray full of acrylic paints. They might be a little bit messy from travel, like mine, but they'll work fine. And you're going to want to get yourself a jar of water. So that way you can put your brushes in the water when you're not using them, and make sure, please, you wash your brushes out when you're done with this workshop. We've given you 3 different size brushes to work with, small, medium, and large. And then for the pottery portion of our workshop, you'll find 1 disc of slab clay. You'll also find a small thrown piece and then a larger thrown piece. Now this larger one is going to be a mug, and then the smaller one you can make into a pencil holder, and then like the little disc here you can make into a cool tray, and I'll show you how to do that. So just so you know what the finished products are going to look like for the pottery, they're going to be similar to these, where you're going to pick out some colors, and with your mug we're going to add a handle. So you're going to end up with a really nice gift when you're done. All right, so let's begin. If you are going to do the snowman, then you're going to want to get some white and paint the snow in. Let's make sure you can see that. You're going to want to paint that in. Now, the nice thing about the paint is when it dries, you can paint over it. So if you make mistakes, you can fix your mistakes. You can add second coats if you want to do that as well. So once you get your snowman painted in, you're going to set him aside and let him dry, because to be able to add things to him like a scarf or maybe some arms and a hat and nose and so on, he is going to need to dry. So again, if you don't want to do a snowman, you can paint over this, and you can do a tree if you like, or you can make whatever you want. I'm going to add some snow in the background by flicking my brush. Make sure Mom and Dad say it's okay to do that. Do it in a place where you're not going to be flicking it all over the house. Okay, I'm going to put this brush into the water off to the side, so that way it doesn't dry out, and we don't want to ruin the brushes. You will need to return the paint tray, the brushes, and any of the pottery tools that are in your kit, which, by the way, I forgot the other thing that's in our pottery kit. I can't believe I almost forgot the ornament. You also have a tree ornament, and it comes with a cool string, so when you're done with your tree ornament, you can put the string through it. So we're going to put our painting off to the side. We'll work on our tree ornament now. You might want to get a little bit of paper towel so that you can wipe your brush off. I'm going to grab some green paint here and start painting my tree. Now, I would suggest getting your tree all painted and let that dry, and then using other colors with a smaller brush, you will be able to decorate your tree then. And you also can paint the sides of the tree. Make sure that you have some paper down on the table. This is an art table, so if I get a little paint on it, my boss might not like that, but I think we'll be okay. And then if you want to do a yellow star on top, you can do that. And so you want to be careful though. If you mix the yellow with the green while it's wet, you're going to end up with a green star. Okay, we also have brown for the bottom. And then again, if you just set this off to the side and let it dry, you'll be able to decorate it with more colors later. So we'll put that off to the side. Now, we chose to do paint on that piece of pottery instead of glaze. But the other pieces of pottery that you're going to work on, you're going to send them back to the studio and we're going to glaze them. So why don't we start with our coffee cup. So the coffee cup will make a really nice gift for someone in the family. And when you pull it out of your plastic, it's going to be a little bit moist. And if it's bent at all, okay, you'll be able to form it back into the shape you want. Have a little bit of water off to the side in case you have to, fix a blemish or something. But for the most part, if it's too soft, just set it off and let it get slightly firm. But we don't want it to dry out too much. Now, you can use something like the back side of a paintbrush if you like. I'm going to make this one for Mom. Okay, this would be a nice coffee cup for Mom. You can spend as much time decorating this coffee cup as you like. You can do as many cool details as you would like. My mother loves hearts, so I'm going to put some hearts on there. I might also want to do some patterns. Now, keep in mind that you can decorate the whole mug all the way around. And then when you send it back to the studio, we're going to attach a handle to it for you. So that way, once we fire it and it's all done, we'll be able to glaze it for you as well. Now, this is sort of what it will look like, okay, after it's glazed. This one has 2 colors on it. Well, actually a third color if you look inside. But you are going to pick one color from the bottom of your sheet. So let's say you pick red, okay? You would write red on the bottom of your mug. Or if you don't want to write red, then you can write just the number 1. So we know what color to glaze it. And make sure you put your name on the bottom too. So this will be a really nice gift for someone. And when you're all done, make sure you wrap this back up in plastic and put it back into that Ziploc bag that we provided, because we don't want it to dry out too much. We wanted to make it all the way back to the studio. And then that way, if it gets bent up or anything, we can reshape it. If it's too dry, that will be hard to do. Now you also have a cool little pot. Could make a pencil holder, or maybe a nice little pot for a little plant or something. And you can decorate this one too. All right, so let's see. This one, I'm just gonna do some flowers on because I really like flowers. The end of the paintbrush works very nice. A pencil will work well too. But I've also included a tool in your kit. And the tool has a sharp corner on it, so that way if you want to carve into your piece a little bit more, you can. Okay, so you've got this nice tool for doing decorations and such. Now my pot got a little dinged up there, and I can fix it. So if yours gets dinged up, just send it back and I'll fix it for you too, okay? So we're gonna set that aside. Now, the last thing we have to work on here is our slab. And we're gonna make sure that it's nice and smooth, because this is gonna be a little bowl that we're gonna make. I think I'm gonna give this to Grandma for Christmas, because she likes to put her rings next to the sink when she does her dishes. So if you've got anything in the house, like a Lego or maybe some other item that you can do some stamping, you can use your fingers for design elements as well. We've also given you a couple of tools, and don't forget that the pencil works good too. But I think the funnest thing to do is to go around the house and see if you can find some things that you can stamp into the clay. Okay, so make some cool things in your little pot for whoever you're making this one for, this little tray, which could also be a coaster. So let's say that you don't want to turn this into a bowl, then you just send it back to the studio like this. It's nice and flat, and we'll fire it like that, and then you can use it as a coaster to put your drinks on, and that's always a nice gift for mom or dad. And if you decide you want to make it into a bowl, then all you have to do is just slowly bend it up like this. See how I'm turning it and bending it? And if that isn't enough of a bend for you, I love to do what I call the elbow pot. So this is where you put your elbow in there and you just squish it around your elbow, okay? And that gives it a nice elbow look, which is sort of like a flower or something. So this nice little bowl, when you're done, will make such a cool dish for little rings or coins, or even a great little soap dish. So you could even put a little tiny bar of soap in there. I'm just going to smooth the edges with water. Now, I do have a little water here off to the side. I would like to advise you to not use too much water when you're working on these pieces. They get too soft, okay? I also would like to advise you to make sure that you don't do this on the kitchen countertop, because things like formica and granite, they're very sticky and your clay will stick to it. You'll want to use a wood surface like I've got here, or perhaps a wooden board. That you can use a cutting board that's made out of wood but not plastic. If you have nothing like that, it would be better to work on newspaper. But again, be careful not to add too much water, because it will make your clay very sloppy, and then it will stick. Now, my pieces, once they're dry, that I've been working on, like my tree, and it dries pretty fast, I can come in with other colors and finish working on that. I hope you guys paint better. Whoop! I hope you guys paint better than I did. I kind of rushed it, but you're gonna make this tree beautiful by putting decorations on it, and then with your snowman, you will be able to add a scarf if you like for the little guy. Let's see. Come in and give him a scarf. Oh, I just put it around his waist. Okay, he gets one up here too. That's pretty funny. It's because I'm trying to look through the camera and then also have the picture. So he's a two-scarfed snowman, and he's got a little hat too. And then I kind of like the look. What do you think? Okay, so that concludes what you need to know for your Santa's workshop. You'll also find a bag of treats in your box, and then you're going to pack up your pottery pieces in plastic and send them back so that we can glaze them for you, fire and glaze them. And remember, they're going to come out really cool looking like this nice glassy glaze look. So you'll just pick the color that you want. And as far as your painting and your Christmas ornament go, you can keep those. You don't need to send those back. Those are ready to prepare to give for a gift as soon as you're ready. So make sure you look at the sheet of paper that's in your box. It tells you the colors that you can choose from. And also make sure that you look at the dates on that sheet of paper. It will tell you when you need to get these things back to the studio and time to get them fired in our kiln over here. We got a nice kiln that we're going to put them in, and then we are going to get them glazed. We got all our glazes over there. So we'll get that done as quickly as possible. And if you have any questions at all about any of this, my phone number is on that sheet of paper. That's the hotline. Give me a call or shoot me a text, and I'm here to help. And happy holidays.